Hi, this is Greg with Lionquestfitness. You know, when I was a little boy, I used to play cowboys and Indians. Sometimes the cowboy, sometimes the Indians. Well, I guess today, even though Native Americans didn't carry 1911s, I guess today I was going to be the Indian. Or maybe I'm just trying to get in touch with my smattering of indigenous peoples' DNA. But one thing I can tell you, I definitely got more Native American DNA than Elizabeth Warren. Well, we're not here to talk about DNA today. What we're going to talk about is this 1911 MC 1911 S from Girsan. I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. I say Girsan. Now, this is a nice looking 1911, and it is in the budget category. This was a Davidson's special. Very, very good price on this gun. But as you can see, it doesn't have any of the frills like the slide serrations here. It only came with one magazine. It does have extended beaver tail, which I do like. Skeletonized trigger. It does not have the light rail, which I absolutely abhor. And I much prefer this configuration in a 1911 because this is easy to conceal, to get in and out of concealment. I can utilize a leather holster and not tear the crap out of it because of the serrations and all the extra cuts. And this is what makes a gun like this more affordable. Now, one of the things that I noticed that in a lot of budget firearms, they may look good on the outside, but then when you take them apart and you look at the slide and some of the other internals, you find out that they're very rough, that the milling wasn't the greatest, or maybe the barrel, has maybe some irregularities in the cutting of that barrel. But the interesting thing about this gun, when I took it apart to clean it for the first time, I was very impressed by how well milled the internals were. The slide, the frame, and I was like, wow, that's a lot of quality here. So what have been the negatives so far? Well, for one thing, the magazine was trash, and it was causing the gun to jam about every other round. And I have a good friend who goes by the nickname of Slim, used to be a competitive shooter many decades ago. And he works exclusively on 1911s as a gunsmith, hangs out at Southeastern Pawn in Liberty, South Carolina. How about it, Slim? And but anyway, Slim told me that one of the things that there are two things that can cause a 1911 to misfeed. And one is not having a strong grip with all three fingers on the grip of the gun, especially that pinky finger. The other is the magazines. So I replaced the original magazine with one of these Chip McCormick magazines that are made under the Wilson Combat banner, and this seemed to have worked very well. In fact, I had the same thing happen with this Rock Island Armory GI gun. The magazine that came with the gun was trash. It actually fell apart at the range, came apart. And once again, Chip McCormick. Now, some people have had bad experiences with Chip McCormick in certain types of 1911s, but as far as I know, this seems to work very well in Rock Island Armory and the Girsons. Now, another issue I had was with the sights. It's got the 3-dot sights. I like these. These are okay. I can see them better than the minimal sights on GI models. However, if I shoot aim point, I shoot low, about a foot low. So what I have to do, at least for right now, and I haven't had it out any further than 10 yards yet, but when I take it out to 15, 20, and 25, I'll get a better indication. But right now, I'm having to elevate the barrel and place the front sight right above the back sight. And that seems to work fairly well. The only other thing, the trigger is a little stiff, but I'm sure in time and use, that's going to take care of it. Now, as far as a holster, now this is not an appropriate holster. This could be used on the range, but if I were going to conceal carry this gun, I need something a little more substantial. So what's the verdict, Greg? Is this a keeper? Well, so far so good. Now, this is obviously not a Wilson Combat 1911, and it's not a higher end Springfield Armory 1911. However, so far I'm very impressed with this gun, and I believe it's a keeper at a very, very good price. And this is Greg with Lionquest Fitness.